Alright guys, let's talk about Starknet or STRK on the channel for the first time since this candlestick back here on May the 22nd of this year, guys. That is about 4.5 months ago, so not much has happened, unfortunately, for Starknet holders. I have a small bag of Starknet myself, guys. But yeah, basically this has just been really consolidating for weeks, and it's just peeking its head right above this resistance at about 18.08 cents at the moment. There hasn't been too much volatility since I've been looking at making a video here tonight, so I do think it will at least seal a daily candle over this line. Now, keep in mind that these green lines are weekly supports and resistances, so we really need the weekly candle sealed above this line. So anyways, the longer the time frame, the candle over these lines, the better, of course. So yeah, we can, get a start with a daily candle, and then, tomorrow maybe a 2-day candle, and so on, guys. So, but basically Starknet is at a point it really hasn't been at since May. And if it just goes a little bit higher, we're going to be getting into territory that we really haven't seen since March. So you're talking about, what, that's like 7, almost 8 months, guys. And it's finally working its way out of this, bottom down here. And the next resistance is almost at 23 cents. And these lines start to become a little bit wider or more separated as we go up here. So that's actually a good thing. I do think it will be easier to go up. But we need to take a look at some of these indicators and see, if we're overbought or oversold, and try to make a decision as what's going to happen with Starknet here in the short term and the long term. Now, taking a quick look at the volume profile here, guys, you can see that Starknet actually goes all the way back to at least March of 2024 here on Binance. I think actually it probably has a little bit more history on other exchanges, but not too much, guys. But the point of control actually sits, let's just raise this a little bit, at about 15 cents down there. So we are well above that point, guys. So let me zoom in here. It doesn't really make sense to look at it all the way up here. But yeah, the candlestick here, guys, we are trying to peek through, and we haven't gotten above it just yet. Now, once we get above about 20.5, let's say 21 cents here, you're going to clear this volume. I mean, this is just weeks and weeks of accumulation down here. And guys, look at the volume over here. There's almost nothing above about 21 cents. So once it clears that, guys, this is probably going to rocket ship up. Jumping over to the RSI and stochastic here, guys, you can see that the RSI is pointed up pretty heavily here on a weekly time frame, and at the highest point it's pretty much ever been. So it's right in the middle, basically in neutral territory. Now, the stochastic here is overheated, but this blue line has actually, it's either avoided it. Let's see, let's zoom in here. It looks like it avoided crossing the red line, and it's getting a little bit of a bounce, but it's almost at the point where it's really overheated and going to turn back to the downside. So the daily time frame here, let's take a look. It is actually a little bit overheated on the RSI. As you see, it's just peeking through this, line basically. The blue line, though, has just crossed this red line to the upside. So it's flirting with being, overbought. But it still has some room to grow. But again, this is overheated, so not good in my opinion. Now, the 4-hour time frame coming down on both. Now, the blue line has just crossed this red line to the downside as well, so that's not a good sign. 1-hour time frame coming down pretty heavily on both, although this has kind of ticked back maybe around. Maybe it's going to, try to make another run up here. But it is still sloping down slightly. But anyways, both of these are showing downward momentum, unfortunately. The 15-minute time frame, actually on the stochastic, probably will cross back to the upside here shortly. But you do have a downward sloping RSI still. So most of these indicators are showing that STRK or Starknet is probably going to go down. Now, this is kind of what we're seeing on the 15-minute time frame. Now, will it get some support here at this 18.08 cent mark? It's possible. Let's put this on a 4-hour mark. Now, For the last 4 hourly candles, it was green. Now this candle just started about an hour ago. So let's see if it can at least hold this mark. Now that would be, a miracle in itself, I would say. But worst case scenario, I don't think it will go below about 16.87 cents. Now the MACD, guys, you can see there was a very small red period back here in March of 2025. But other than that, this has been mostly green, and we're starting to see dark green candles here. The blue line is, remaining above this red line, which is a good thing. And yeah, the momentum looks up on a weekly time frame. Now the daily time frame, let's take a look here and let's zoom in a little bit. We are in a green period, and these candlesticks are growing. It actually just avoided these light green candles to the downside, because normally you see something like this, guys. You see dark red and then maybe a light red. And then, for example, if we go back in history here, okay, you can see like dark green and light green, dark green, light green. So it did avoid, seeing some light green candles and then turning red basically. So blue line is turned to the upside here on the daily time frame. So guys, momentum still looks up, although these indicators like RSI and stochastic show that the momentum, at least in the short term, is probably going to stall out a little bit here, I would say. But yeah, overall, momentum is up for Starknet. Now, Starknet is the number 138 coin, guys. It's up about 24% at the moment. Now, you can see my holdings here. Like I said, I don't have a great amount, and I am actually about $5 minus. The max supply is 10 billion coins. Less than half of this is circulating. Only about, 43% is circulating at the moment. And if we go to the all-time high, that was about $4.41. And it says February 20th of 2024. So you're getting about a 96% discount at the moment. Now, can it beat $4.41? Yeah, being a new project, actually it can. So usually new projects do better than older projects when they're taking on their all-time highs. And yeah, I do think it could exceed it. And actually, guys, I think it was even higher than this. If I remember correctly, it might have been about $7 or $8. Now, this might be closing candle basis, at least on a daily time frame or something. But I do think this was up on other exchanges, possibly at around $7 or $8. Now, Bitcoin, guys, look at this. TA actually works. We'd have the shoulder here. We got the head here. We got another shoulder here. The target was actually right here. We actually hit this target today. And yeah, TA works. What can I say, guys? The breakout of this inverse head and shoulders has been hit officially now. Now, yesterday we fell a little bit short, and I said, well, maybe this could technically be it, because there is no real way to measure this, accurately. But yeah, we actually hit it almost to the dot. So nice to see. Let's see what kind of resistances and supports this forms now. Maybe this will consolidate around here for a while. Who knows? Now, we do have a CME gap, guys, right here at about $111,000 we have to get down to. And it goes all the way down to about 110. So it's about a $1,600 gap, guys. And again, we do have another gap here, guys. I need to zoom in. I'm not sure why my box was erased, but it was about $120 here. I marked this off in my BNB video this morning, but apparently it didn't save it here. But this is about a $120 gap here. Now, before I go a little farther in this video, guys, you can claim some bonuses on my favorite crypto exchanges below. I have partnerships with 7 exchanges here: Bybit, MEXC, BingX, Bitrue, BTC, WEX, and CoinEx, guys. You can also find Moodix here. You can get a free 7-day trial. And guys, if you want the world's safest cold wallet, you can go here to my link. You can get 17% off CypherRock wallet today. And you can follow me on X here, guys, if you really want to do so. Bitcoin returns, guys, look at this. October is almost 10% already. Now, the average we usually see is about 21% here. So we're only 6 days into October, guys. I think this is going to be an explosive October. Now, the best we ever had was in 2013 at 60%. Don't think we're going to get that, guys. Even 47 would be a bit high, and 33 also, but probably, even 39 is high. Maybe we can see something like a 27 or 28%, upside here. Ethereum, on the other hand, is breaking out of this channel finally, so it has also broken through this Fibonacci level. Almost got, resistance here, basically at what, 47.54. May have fell just a little bit short here, but again, these lines are not 1,000% perfect. Now, it's getting resistance pretty much at $4,700. Again, that's probably a psychological resistance being, 4,700, kind of a flat number. So let's see if it can at least cross that mark tonight with the daily candle. That would be a good thing in my opinion. And probably tomorrow or the day after, we take on these daily resistances again. And guys, the all-time high is right after that. Total market cap is actually at the highest point we've really ever seen it. Now, we have been a little bit higher today, of course, but let's see where this closes. I do think it will close the highest we have ever closed. Now, the total market cap excluding Bitcoin. Look at this, guys. It is just peeking out of this channel. So if it can close outside this channel, I do think we're in for massive upside. Jumping over to one of my favorite charts, the Bitcoin dominance chart, we do see some massive red candle here. So this is good. This is the daily time frame. So people are buying other altcoins other than Bitcoin right now. However, we have lost this on a weekly time frame. We have broken through this resistance at 58.61%. And we're sitting, about what, 0.33% above that. We do need to lose these two supports now as they are, and the next support would be at 56.77%. That's a massive drop off. So I do believe we will make it down, guys, eventually to about 48%, all the way down to possibly about 39.5%. That's this zone right here, guys. Once we get there, your bags are going to be full of money, guys. Another chart which goes pretty much hand in hand with Bitcoin dominance is the USDT dominance. So you can see here, guys, we are finding support right now on 4.18%. But if we kind of zoom out here, we really haven't seen lower since about August, mid-August, guys. So it's been almost 2 months. Let's see if we can lose this support here. Next support would be about 3.98%. So this is looking good, guys. People are putting their money back into crypto. Just looking at this on the daily time frame, we've gone from 4.75% all the way to where we are right now. Now, since my video this morning, we've jumped from a 67 to a 69 on the altcoin season index. That is good to see. Liquidation heat map, in the last 24 hours, we've seen about $332 million wreck. So a little bit more elevated than this morning, I believe. Fear and greed at a 71 today. Yesterday was a 71. Next update in about 2.5 hours. If we look at the bull market peak indicators here, guys, it's 0 from 30 hit, so still 100% hold. Pi cycle top indicator is at 62%, so this is what it looks like at 62%. It still hasn't crossed yet. Tomorrow on the economic calendar, we do have a few speakers here, and we have the New York Fed one-year consumer inflation expectations. Not too important, though. If we look at Moody's, sentiment is still risk on. That trend is growing. Today was a slightly negative day, though, unfortunately. FedWatch Tools is showing about a 95% chance of getting that quarter-point cut. 5%, nothing will happen, they say. But let's look at the poly market numbers here. We have 90% believing there's going to be a quarter-point cut, and no change is 8%. And where this differs is the 50 basis point decrease, and also some people believing that there's going to be an increase. Trueflation showing 2.2% inflation. If we go to crypto bubbles, it's looking pretty good today too, guys. Last hour not so good though, unfortunately, but the day was pretty green, so really nice to see. And guys, if you want to stake your coins, go to Coinondo. I was looking for BNB a little bit earlier today. And anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, share this video with friends. And guys, please use those links down below. I know if you use them, I do get a little bit of commission. but it's actually very small. It's pennies, guys, really. And unless you're a mega trader, you're trading hundreds of millions or something like this, or maybe even hundreds of thousands, we can say, I won't see more than pennies, guys. So I really appreciate it. It helps keep me motivated. It helps keep this channel going. And guys, I really appreciate those who have been using those links lately. Anyways, I thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.